Okay, I want to talk about this PSA grading pause that is causing absolute chaos across the hobby. For me, it's been a good thing. And I think for many people, they're going to feel the same way when this is over. I have a feeling that this grading pause is going to be one of the greatest things that ever happened to the hobby because we have went insane with grading. There's nothing wrong with grading. Grading is a necessary evil of the hobby. And for those of us who don't like fake cards, it's necessary. But it's become a massive, massive crutch for many people claiming to be a part of the hobby when they actually just are flipping cards, right? That's fine if that's your source of income, if that's what you do on the side to make extra money. Nobody faults you for that. But it's been a relief. It's been an absolute relief to not have to worry about the constant submission. Everything, I'm going to grade this, I'm going to grade that. This would grade a 10, this would grade a 9. The conversations have become a lot more simple, right? Who cares? Because you can't grade it right now for less than $70 anyway. Unless you go with SGC or CGC, then we're talking about a collector grade, not a selling grade, right? There's a big difference in the price ranges on those, even though it's ridiculous. They charge so much money for a PSA premium that it begs logic, like why? PSA slab looks terrible anyway. SGC should be, way better. Tag looks awesome. Beckett's look way better. It's just the way it is, right? Here's what's happened for me. It's been a long time since I posted a video on YouTube, so I want to put something out. I'm trying not to be controversial, but I've enjoyed the hobby recently. And the reason I've enjoyed the hobby recently is because it's allowed me to get back to the things that I can control, which is completing my sets, finding players that I like, new players that are coming up that I want to follow. I'm not having to worry about, let me find their card so I can grade it and 10x it. That was never my priority anyway. I was never a serial grader. I would grade a few cards here or there, and most of them I would end up keeping anyway. So I think it's been good. I really do think it's been good. So first, let's talk about the main thing. The hobby has multiple faces. There's the hobby that we know and love from before, which is I'm going to collect what I like. And then there's the hobby that carries around a briefcase with graded cards to flip and sell. They could absolutely care less about what players are in there. And that has its place too. The problem is we call it the same thing, right? And oftentimes those two things get married, right? There's nothing wrong with a reseller who also collects. And there's nothing wrong with a collector who's trying to free up some space in their home or get rid of cards that they don't want to collect in order to get ones that they do. It's a necessary evil to put the two together. The problem is that the majority of the stuff that we find is based on purely just value, dollar signs, right? It's exhausting. And I think we could use a refreshing break, which ironically is what the PSA pause gave us. I think we should enjoy it while we have it, right? I don't know that bulk is ever going to come back the way that it was. And even if it does, the prices are going to be, I don't think we'll ever see the close to $25 again. What was it, 32 before the pause? It's going to be high. A lot of that's intentional, right? That they want to filter out the people who are grading cards that, unless it gems and there's a pop of 3 and it sold for $150, whatever, a 9 goes for $20, which is less than the cost of grading. I think they're trying to filter out a lot of that stuff. The problem is that there's collectors out there who enjoy those. I'm thinking in particular like an 87 Topps Nolan Ryan or Bo Jackson or Bonds. Right, Bonds is the exception, obviously. So the Nolan Ryan, you grade that card, it's maybe a couple $100. If it gets a 10, is it worth it in a 9 or an 8? No. Because the risk does not outweigh the reward, right? The chances of getting a 10 is low on an 87 Topps card. The chances of getting an 8 or a 9 is high. One flaw, the PSA defaults to a 6, right? Plus, right now you're paying $70. That's insane. I just don't see it. I think that a lot of collectors have finally they've gotten the break that allows them to go back to old school collecting. And it's probably been a healthy thing. There's plenty of cards out there. If you want to find a graded card, if you're looking for a 9 or a 10, whatever, you can find them at shows and online and eBay and enhance your collection with what you find. Having to worry about ripping a card and grading it right now, unless it's something massive, who cares, right? I mean, I would rather complete one of my sets, right? Right now I've been working on 1969 tops. I completed it actually. It's a excellent to near mint, leaning towards the near mint for the majority of the set. Phenomenal set of cards. I'm highly pleased with it. My 1970 top set is one card shy. I can't find a Ryan that fits the grade of cards that I have for a reasonable price. 68, I'm only a handful of cards shy. So I'm having a good time. I've been working on 66 and 65. I've not went pre-65 yet because that starts to get a little pricey, right? So I'm stopping there. But I'm also going through and putting cards that if it is a top set, I want one of every year in a binder, right? That's just what I like. Well, I'll show you. Yeah, so your general old school blue binders are underrated, right? I mean, there's nothing special. You just put your cards in the binder. Let me teach you, for those of you who carry the Pelicans. Look, enjoyment. You can put your cards in these and you can look at them. And I can put all of them, the whole set, in this binder. And I can protect them with a sleeve, and their sleeves in the binder pages. And I can enjoy them whenever I want to look at them. I don't have to go find my cards in the PSA vault, right? I mean, there's so much fulfillment when you complete one of these sets or you find a card you've been looking for a long time. It gives you a sense of satisfaction that a Gem Mint 10 can't. That feeling of completion that you've collected what you set out to collect. A PSA 10 is exciting for the dollar amount, but it's not the same. It's really just not the same, right? And here's a good example. My kids were, tomorrow's my birthday, so they were going to go buy birthday cards to give me that had something written on them. Let's say that card cost $1 million. But they decided they wanted to draw me one on a piece of paper and fold it up. It may be awesome to get like a fancy birthday card, but how much more does the one that was handwritten mean, right? The time they put into it. That's the way it feels to be a collector versus just a reseller. And I think a lot of people miss out on that feeling, and it's a shame. I wish we'd get back more towards that. So this has been great. So let me encourage you with this because I think it's going to be a healthy thing. You don't have to be one of the guys to be taken seriously in the hobby just because you have a case full of slabs. Slabs are easier to move. People purchase them. They're not scared of those because they've been authenticated. If you know what you're looking for, you can get pretty close by yourself without worrying about fakes. Go out and enjoy it. Forget grading for a few months, right? When PSA comes back, go do your thing, whatever. Until then, just enjoy it. I mean, find a player, JJ Witherholt, right? Unfortunately, he got popular, but I'm happy he got popular because he was doing well. I'm from West Virginia, and loved watching JJ. He's a heck of a guy. Huge fan. Not a Cardinals fan. I'm a JJ fan. And his cards now are going for stupid, insane prices. I can't even afford to collect him anymore. But I've got a few of his cards, and it makes me happy to have 10 or 12 of his inserts and different things. That's enjoyable. I don't have to hit a 1 out of 20 auto JJ and grade it and then sell it. Just be happy with what you got. Be happy with decent grades. Like, there's nothing wrong with a PSA 8 or a PSA 9. Shoot, in vintage, I mean, I prefer PSA 2s and 3s. I'll even go 1 if the card presents well, right? I mean, who cares? It's about, I own this card. I can look at it anytime I want. I can get rid of the ones that I don't want. And then what? I mean, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. Just my rant for the day. Haven't posted anything in a while. I've been on TikTok. I don't know if you guys follow my channel on there. It's 5 Line Collectibles on TikTok. It's easier on the phone, just on the road, to put videos out on there. I'm going to try to do better about doing it on YouTube. And then I have some awesome updates coming up. For those of you who don't know, I have been developing software for the card hobby. HobbyWise is already on the App Store. It's going to be on Android soon. And it's for the people who like to do in-person selling, the vendors, right? And then also CardShow. CardShow is days or a few weeks away from being approved by Apple. I got to fix a few things that some metadata type stuff, and it will be on there. And it is a directory of the vast majority of shows and just about every card shop in the country. And it has a lot of awesome tools. Really, really excited about those. So I will let you know when that one is available. But HobbyWise is awesome for keeping track of your collection. I'm very passionate about people spending too much on too many things, not keeping track of their expenses and time, and then also not keeping track of what they're going for. So yeah, I'm excited about those. I have some more updates coming soon, but I will not rant about those this evening. I hope you guys are doing well. I'll catch you on the next one.